Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, fellow Africans, all protocols duly observed, I am Ambassador May Edochie, popularly known as Queen May. I am honored to be a part of this momentous occasion, the Africa Leadership and Entrepreneurs Conference Awards Peace Summit. We gather at a time of great hope and promise. Africa is rising, and we are the leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers driving this transformation. We are the descendants of kings and queens, of visionaries and freedom fighters. We are inheritors of a rich cultural heritage and a deep-seated desire for peace, justice, and prosperity. So I ask you, what kind of Africa do you want to build? Do we want to build an Africa that is just, equitable, and peaceful? Let's harness our technology to leapfrog our development, create jobs, enhance education, and improve healthcare. Let's prioritize peace, built on justice, equity, and respect for human rights. As Nelson Mandela once said, the greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. As Kwame Nkrumah said, Africa is one continent, one nation, and one people. Let us rise, Africa. Let us rise to the challenge of building a better future for ourselves, our children, and generations to come. I'm most grateful to the organizers of this award and summit, and I dedicate this award to every hard worker out there. I remain Ambassador May Edochie, aka Queen May. Thank you so much.
When you hear it is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our sight, it is marvelous in our eyes. This is a story of Mary Aligwe Edochie. Well, I have never thought less about her, and I will never think less about her. It is not about fame and popularity. No, not at all. You can be famous for rubbish, popular for stupidity, or is it infamous for whatever? The thing is this: if she was a mediocre, if she was empty-headed, if she was not the backbone like Yul Edochie's dad referred to her as, if she was a nobody, if she had no value to add, if she was not a genius, maybe we would have said, oh, look at this woman, she's lucky. Now, I'm not trying to say that everyone who is a genius, who has a good head or whatever on their shoulders or whatever, I'm not saying that they all become lucky in life after such or whatever, like their businesses broke and fell and all of that. I'm not saying that everyone will rise and fulfill. No, not at all. But in the case of Mary, somehow it seems there is this kind of help coming from different corners and quarters. And I wish and I pray and I hope that all things will be equal, will continue to be equal for her. Yeah, at times, one could easily forget, and I'm not saying she's perfect. She's not perfect. No, not at all. She's not a perfect person. But, you know, the thing about righting wrong, which is basically one of the things she wrote on her page when this divorce of a thing started. I mean, the separation and all of that. She said, it is one thing to forgive. It is also one thing to right the wrong. If I am asking my significant other, please forgive, then I want to right the wrong. Meaning, when she and Yul Edochie fell apart in whatever, the problem must have had some discussion. And he must have said some things that made me realize that this dude is not willing to right wrong. Meaning, look, I've messed up, I've done everything. Yeah, this has that. So Mary said, look, I don't need to tell you. You are to come to me and say, look, I respect, I value my first family. That happened is just like a kind of away match. It's not like the real major thing. Please forgive me in all and all and all and all. Forgive me. Let's see how this is going to be patched. But Edochie was unwilling. He wasn't ready. He wanted polygamy. He wasn't ready. Like, that was what he suggested. That is what he said is the solution to it. He wasn't ready to part with the juicy Judy Austin's Kwekus. He wasn't ready to part with that. And he felt he could have it. Like, no. After all, to him, somehow the relationship between Judy and himself, and maybe some other women out there, is as old as the marriage or whatever, you see. So it felt like, no, I'm not going to leave that woman and go back to you and just put her in the family way. How is it going to be like, no. Listen, I can have both of you. I'm going to fulfill my over there and do what I need to do here. And Mary is like, no, man, it's not going to work. But one thing is this, she was careful about certain things, saying certain things like, let me allow the man to decide for himself. She was very careful. If not, Edochie would have come on social media and said, I have begged you when you told me that, how do you want me to leave? Edochie would have spilled everything, but she was careful. Like, Oga, you know what to do. That probably would have been what she said. You know what to do. So now these are winning. Like, I mean, Edochie has flooded his page. That's to let you know how. It's like Edochie is now like an upcoming. Edochie is like an upcoming. Like, seriously, like upcoming. That's what Edochie is right now. Upcoming. Like, seriously, up and coming. That is what Edochie has become. He flooded his page, his social media handle, with his new, he's now taking it serious. He now understands, you see, the ways of God. I mean, the ways of God and lessons to be learned from mistakes. He has now understood how important certain things that he might not have taken seriously. You know, when you step into that limelight and people applaud you, you're famous, you are known, and there are things you take for granted. So Edochie is now very careful, and I think maybe some other things will also come into it, and he will try to align. He will realize, you know, when you've suffered a little bit, and when you now have something to prove, like, now I have something to prove now. I need to show that I am not going down. I need to show that I am also a strong person. I need to show that it is not only Mary. But the thing is that whatever it is that is happening in Edochie's life right now is like a drop of water compared to what is happening in Mary's life. That is the thing. Mary has so much stretched her wings and tentacles. Like, I don't know. I am not God. Although there are certain things that you don't need to think deeply about it. It is just there. It's just there, like, for real. It's just there for you to, like, look at it and then say, no, night and day is not the same. They are both useful, but they are not the same. Night is so important, same as the day is important, but they are not the same. So when you look at Edochie and Mary right now, yes, Edochie through his father has acquired some, at least he has acquired some feathers through his father. That's the truth of it. Has he done some extraordinary things to some people's life via the TV screen? Yes, he has entertained people, he has made people, but now things have things have moved. You know, it's like comparing locomotive train to the current one, state of the art electric train. You know, it's not the same, but both of them are moving. Both of them are still called train, right? That's what I'm talking about. So Yul Edochie is like the locomotive, whilst although they are there, they are respected because they gave birth to the electric train. But you know what I mean? I'm not relegating Yul Edochie as, look at him because he did what he did. I'm not going to call it a mistake. It could be a mistake, and he decided to embrace it as if it is now a lifestyle. You know, as if it is now something to kind of be proud of. That is where the problem lies. It is true that people make mistakes. It is true, as Mary said, it is true that forgiveness is important. But righting wrong, what about that? What about that?